morning, everybody. I've had the privilege of doing these swearing-ins on a number of occasions, but I have to confess, this is the one I am most excited about in all of my tenure. This is really, really the fun part of the job I get to do, because today I have the honor of swearing in not only a brilliant colleague, but a truly dear friend. Now, I know this is Washington, and in Washington we're all supposed to relate to one another and know each other through the nature of our work. But the truth is that my husband Ian and I met Karen and Jim for the first time through her son Sam, who's standing right there, and my son Jake, who's standing over there, because when they were 3 years old, they were in the same nursery school class, and they hit it off, and they've been good friends ever since. And our families have been very good friends ever since. I want to pay a special tribute to Jim, to Daniel, and to Sam. They are a tremendous group of people, as you know, incredibly warm, loving, and the best kind of friends you can possibly have. I also want to welcome and say thank you to Karen's wonderful, proud parents, Bea and David, and also to point out that our family ties go back a prior generation, because we learned as Jim and Karen and Ian and I became close friends that indeed my mother Lois and Jim's mom Evie were good friends going back many years to their undergraduate days at Radcliffe. So we have 3 generations of families that have found each other and have stayed close. We've made a habit as families of relaxing together, from here in Washington, D.C. to Block Island, where we will always cherish fond memories of hanging out and playing together on the beach and feasting on lobster. Karen, however, is famous in this town for her cutting-edge scholarship and her eloquent advocacy on behalf of work-life balance. And I know firsthand that she, like I and so many of the rest of us, aim constantly to find that happy medium. Karen works extremely hard. I mean, crazy hard. But she also works smartly. And as the trusted policy director in President Obama's Senate office, Karen brought together leading minds in business, technology, science, economics, energy, and foreign policy for freewheeling and insightful exchanges. And these dialogues that she generated helped to bring together the groundbreaking ideas that have truly and profoundly shaped the president's thinking and many of his subsequent policy initiatives, both in the Senate, during the campaign, and now in the administration. Karen has that extraordinary combination of intellect and creativity that lets her bring these big minds and even bigger personalities together. She gets them to check their egos at the door and work together to craft innovative solutions to complex challenges, whether at home or abroad. In 2008, Karen changed forever the way that major political parties write their platforms by breaking free of the stale old conference rooms and reaching out directly to the American people. As the lead author of the 2008 Democratic Platform, she organized 1,600 hearings across the country to create a truly open source approach to producing a new blueprint for America's future. I was proud to get to work with Karen on a portion of that platform, the foreign policy piece, and was constantly impressed, not only by her tireless energy, but by her truly visionary approach. She got ordinary Americans involved in the process and harnessed their extraordinary ideas. So that's Karen's unique genius, devising her own brilliant ideas and raising up other people's creativity. And it served her well across a variety of public and private sector jobs. She's worked as an economist at the forecasting firm Townsend Greenspan, a management consulting firm at Fortune 500 manufacturing companies, as an economic policy advisor to Senator John Kerry, as deputy chief of the Mass Media Bureau at the FCC, and as deputy chief of staff at the Treasury Department. During this time, if she wasn't busy enough, Karen, like many of us, became a mother and learned firsthand the difficulties of a global 24/7 work world craziness that burdens and challenges all of us. And yet she decided, rather than to just live it, to study this problem and work on it head on. And she joined the New America Foundation as a Markle Fellow and founded there the Work and Family Program, where she laid an unprecedented intellectual foundation for a better 21st century workplace. And then in 2005, she returned to the Senate to work as President Obama's policy director. And now she's bringing all of that extraordinary knowledge, intellect, and creativity to the OECD, and her timing could not be better. You will recall that 61 years ago, the OECD was founded to help administer the Marshall Plan. As Europe healed from the ravages of war, the OECD turned its attention to generating evidence-based economic analysis and crafting policy recommendations to promote market-based economic growth. We still need that wisdom today in a very different world. In our era of globalization, and especially in the wake of the financial crisis, the OECD has a critically important role to play in striking the right balance between regulation and open markets, even as it advances good governance and promotes democratic values. In the 21st century, the OECD is reinforcing its core mission while it reaches out to rising new economic powers such as China and India. And as the world grapples with the questions of financial stability, sustainable energy, and climate change, the OECD is drawing on leading thinkers across the public and private sectors. So you can see, ladies and gentlemen, how this is right in Karen's strike zone. In the coming years, the United States and the OECD will be working closely together to ensure that financial markets remain stable and open, and that the circle of global prosperity expands. The United States remains the largest contributor to the OECD. So this is a big job and an exciting time, and we are so fortunate to have the right person for it. In naming Karen to this post, President Obama has given a strong vote of confidence to this critical organization. And he's shown yet again how deeply he trusts and relies on Karen's wisdom and judgment. The president could not have picked a better ambassador for this job, and I could not have a better job today than swearing in my dear friend. Karen, congratulations. I'm so excited.